were trouble. The moment I saw you, it frames her actions in a way that feels playful but also slightly flirtatious. You're not judging her, you're admiring her energy and framing her as someone who keeps life and interesting. And here's the beauty of it: the word trouble works because it hints at attraction without directly saying it. It's not overly complimentary, but it still makes her feel noticed and appreciated in a unique way. She'll start to wonder what you mean by it, and that curiosity keeps her engaged. It also creates a you and me dynamic, as if you're the only one who sees this side of her, the mischievous, exciting side. Now, a word of caution: use it with the right tone. Trouble isn't meant to be said seriously or in a way that feels like an accusation. It's meant to be light, playful, and full of positive energy. Think of it as a way to keep the conversation flowing, to add a bit of spice to your dynamic, and to show her that you see her as someone who stands out when used. Effectively, trouble becomes more than just a word. It's a signal of playful attraction, a way to create intimacy, and a way to keep the energy between you alive and engaging. So the next time you're talking to someone who sparks your interest, don't be afraid to throw it in. You might just find that this one word opens the door to a whole new level of connection. The fourth word is little. It's an innocent sounding word. Yet when used the right way, it carries a powerful impact. Why does it work? Because it taps into something fundamental about human dynamics: the interplay between masculine and feminine energy. When you use the word little in the right context, you're not just describing her, you're highlighting her femininity in a way that feels natural and intimate. Here's the thing: women are often drawn to men who exude a sense of strength and security, and not because they're helpless or weak, but because it complements their own feminine energy. By calling her little, you're subtly reinforcing that contrast. It's not about belittling her, it's about creating a moment where she feels seen, protected, and appreciated for the qualities that make her unique. So, how do you use it effectively? Timing is everything. Imagine she's standing next to you and she takes off her heels, suddenly making her height noticeable compared to yours. That's the perfect moment to say, "You're so little." It's a simple statement, but it instantly creates a sense of closeness and intimacy. It's like you're acknowledging a detail about her that feels personal, something that only you would notice in that moment. You can also pair it with playful physical compliment. For example, if she's reaching for something on a high shelf, you might say, "You're so little. Do you need me to get that for you?" This doesn't just emphasize her femininity, it also gives you an opportunity to step into a role that highlights your own strength. It's not about showing off, it's about creating a dynamic where both of you feel more connected. Another way to use little is in a teasing context. Maybe she tells you about how she used to be a competitive athlete or insists she's stronger than she looks. That's the perfect time to say you're too little for that. Of course, say it with a smile so she knows you're being playful. The key here is to keep it light and fun while still drawing attention to the contrast between you. Now it's important to deliver this word in the right tone. Little should never come across as condescending or dismissive. Instead, it should feel warm and affectionate, almost as if you're letting her in on a private joke or observation. It's not about diminishing her. It's about amplifying the dynamic between you in a way that feels playful and personal. What makes little so effective is that it validates her femininity in a world where she may not always feel celebrated for. It is a reminder that you see her not just for her outward appearance, but for the energy she brings into the interaction. And when a woman feels both seen and valued, that's when the connection deepens. Use thoughtfully. This one word can open the door to a more intimate and engaging dynamic. It's not flashy, it's not over the tube, but it's incredibly effective. So the next time you're with someone who catches your eye, don't hesitate to use it. You might be surprised at how quickly it changes the energy between you. The fifth word is friend. And while it might seem counterintuitive, this one word can be incredibly effective when used correctly. Why? Because it introduces ambiguity into the interaction, and ambiguity is one of the most powerful tools for creating attraction. When someone isn't quite sure where they stand with you, it naturally keeps them engaged. Their mind starts working over time to figure you out, and that mental engagement builds a stronger connection. Think about it. Most people expect conversations to follow a predictable pattern. If you're showing interest in someone, they assume every word and action will align with that intention. But when you casually drop the word friend into the conversation, you disrupt that predictability. It makes her pour, wonder, and question what you're really thinking. That moment of uncertainty is what makes this word so effective. Let's talk about how to use it. One of the best ways is to throw it in playfully. During a light ed moment, for example, you might say, "You're such a cool friend. I should introduce you to someone." It's expected and creates a sense of intrigue. She'll likely respond with something like friend. Is that what we are? And just like that, you've sparked a conversation where she's the one trying to define the relationship. Another way to use it is to mix your signals deliberately. Let's say the vibe between you is already flirtatious, and then you casually say, "Wait, are we friends or something more? You're confusing me." This works because it shifts the dynamic. Instead of you chasing her, it subtly implies that she's the one giving mixed signals, which makes her invest more in the interaction, and that makes her a better source of information. The beauty of the word friend is that it's light enough not to feel like a rejection, yet intriguing enough to make her think. It creates a kind of playful tension. She knows you're interested, but now she's wondering just how interested you are. That curiosity is powerful because it makes her more engaged in figuring out where things stand. Now, the tone is everything. When using this word, it has to come across as playful, not dismissive if you say it too seriously. It might actually come off as you're trying to push her away. But when said with a smile or a bit of humor, it opens the door for her to lean in and clarify the dynamic herself. What makes Friends so impactful is that it flips the script. Instead of you trying to define the relationship, you'll put the ball in her court. You're inviting her to challenge the label, to push back. And in doing so, you're creating an interaction that feels alive and engaging. It's a small word, but it carries a lot of weight in the way it shifts the energy between you. So the next time you're in a conversation that feels like it's going well, try throwing in the word friend. Whether you use it to tease, to create a bit of mystery, or to mix signals, it's a powerful way to keep her intrigued and invested. And you'll find that with just a little playfulness, this word can transform the way she sees you. Now that we've gone through each of these 5 words, let's take a moment to really understand why they work and how they can transform your interactions. These aren't just random words, they're tools that tap into emotions at the very heart of attraction. When you use them intentionally, they create feelings of challenge, intimacy, tension, and even ambiguity. And these emotions, they're not just nice to have, they're what keep a connection alive, exciting, and unforgettable. Think about it, the word no signals confidence and sets boundaries, something that immediately stands out in a world where most people are too eager to please. Sexy shifts the tone, creating a spark of intimacy and flirtation that draws her closer. Trouble adds a playful dynamic, turning a simple conversation into something more memorable. Little emphasize is the natural balance between masculine and feminine energy, building a sense of closeness and protection. And finally, friend introduces just enough ambiguity to keep her intrigued, wondering where she stands with you. Each of these words is like a key unlocking a different aspect of attraction that works on a deeper, almost instinctual level. But here's the thing, understanding these concepts isn't enough on its own. You have to practice them. Start small. Try these words into your next conversation and see how it feels. Pay attention to how she reacts, how the energy shifts, and how it changes the flow of the interaction. You don't need to get it perfect right away. The more you use them, the more natural it will become. This isn't about memorizing lines or trying to impress anyone. It's about learning to communicate in a way that's authentic, confident, and impactful. It's about creating moments that feel effortless but carry weight. The more you experiment with these words, the more you'll notice how they subtly change the dynamic over time. You won't even have to think about it, it'll just be part of how you interact. And let's not forget, this is about more than just words. It's about the energy you bring into the conversation. The way you say things matters just as much as what you say. So take your time, practice with intention, and watch how these simple tools open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. If you're willing to put this into practice, you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. These words aren't magic, they're ground-ed in principles that work because they resonate with something fundamental in human nature. So go ahead, start experimenting, start seeing how powerful your communication can be when you use the right words in the right way at the right time. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments which of these words you're most curious to try out, or if you've already had experiences where one of them worked for you, share your stories. Your input could inspire someone else watching this. Thank you. If you like this video, please share the video and subscribe to our channel Modern Stoic. Thank you.